Hello, everybody. So basically, I was working earlier today on my block template, which I'll give you a look at this thing real quick. It looks a bit more complicated than it is. This is the construction set. This is what happens. This gives you all your menus and drop downs in the game. This is what it does. Basically, on trigger enter are auto firing and the spikes triggering to kill you. And this is what it is. It's a block, except for it has a whole lot of things you can't see. And this is what's really cool about it. I actually made it way too customizable. This is actually one of the blocks right here. This is one of the blocks because I was fucking around. So basically, on its outset, it's just a block that moves from point A to point B, or not. You don't even have to have it move. The block has 10 different trap nodes. Those traps to default are set to spikes. And basically, if you hit a spike, it'll kill you. So I can turn one of those on. There you go. There's you a spike. We've got a thing for grooves in it, so we can actually make these traps and come out and stab people through like the floor and stuff. Which you can't see it on this one. But it's this piece right here that has nothing on it right now. So this is actually a... did I name this wrong? Trap 1 secondary. I gotta fix this. Okay. I gotta fix where their locations are. So basically, it allows you to add the spikes if you want. And if you do add the spikes, you notice there's a trigger box. This trigger box is what will kill you. So the trigger box is pretty small. If you wanted to make it bigger, you could make it bigger. It's the trap 1 player killer scale. So say I wanted to go up to 5 and make sure the trap really got you if it just nicked you. Or say you didn't want to use the spikes whatsoever, you could literally click this. If you knew what your static mesh was, you could use another block that is then now smooshed because the scale is a little bit off. So if I change the scale back to 1, bam, you now just have another block piece. Yeah, it's that easy. So basically you have 10 pieces, there's one on each side. You could create yourself, actually you have 20 pieces, there's 2 on each side. You have a primary component 2. So you could actually use this template to create an entire block of blocks to push you around. And you can get rid of the trap component because you'll never hit it anyway once it's inside of there. You're just setting the scale to 0, 0, 0. So on its outset, it's just a block that pushes you, goes from point A to point B. But all told, it's really flippin' phenomenal in what it can do. So say I've got this piece now that I want to do because for some reason I took the spikes off of it. I'm still trying to figure out why these aren't over top. Like I want destination block to be over. And it is in the scripting, but it's not here. And it's driving me nuts. So anyway, the destination block. What the destination block is it's just the size of your regular block offset according to the direction this thing is facing. So let's say we put it at 700. Boom, boom, boom. So now this block is going to move out to that block that it's connected to. Now there's also a nice little checkbox to toggle movement block visibility. It's not going to show in game, but it just lets you see where the initial 2 blocks are going to go. Now something really cool about this is if I kill some of these things real quick, because see some of these they're in the wrong spot. I want the main block control to be at the top. So main block control is your 2 main blocks. And what this does is if you change these, say we want to change it to, let's see what wall pieces we have. Stop filling my screen up with shit. I don't even know. Let's, yeah, floor. There we go. Do a floor tile. Tile 1 by 1 floor. So now I've just changed it to a floor. If you notice, it's got a little bit of an offset because the pivot point on the floor is different than the pivot point on the box. So you can set it back up however you want, but if you see now, I now have a floor piece over here instead of this. So you can even use this template if you wanted to. If you wanted to click off use main floor block 2, you can uncheck that. You would uncheck trap 1. And what you now have is a floor tile that goes from point A to point B. And that's how flexible this is. I set it up with being modular in mind. You can use any mesh you want. You can even change the texture. If I wanted the texture to be, say, what is this? Ancient door. I don't even know what that is. The texture swaps on the fly. You're not basic floor. You're not locked to, there's a bunch of stupid textures in here. Base pipe. So you can do like a steel texture, right? So now we've got that piece in, right? And trigger movement. You got 2 different things. You got trigger movement and auto movement. Auto movement is on by default, and it's got a bunch of default settings in it, which basically means this thing is going to move back and forth once the game starts. If you uncheck that and check trigger detection, it's going to pop up a trigger box. That trigger box, while you're inside of it, is going to make whatever you tell this thing to do move back and forth. It's hard to see with the lighting in here. That lighting's terrible. So this trigger box, scale and size, its offset, and its rotation are all manageable. Then you can also block transit time forward. We're going to go back to the auto speed just because that's easier. The trigger box is good for volumes, or if you want to catch somebody right and hit them with the freaking block, or move this thing when you step on it. So if I wanted to move this when I stepped on it, actually let's do that. Trigger box detection. Let's move this when we step on it. Trigger box scale is actually pretty good. Trigger box offsets, their offsets are relative to themselves when this is sitting in the world, so it should just be normal. So let's do trigger box. Actually, that's a little off. 75. So there we go. Our trigger box is pretty much centered. So what's going to happen now is if I step on that, it's going to go back and forth. The box only move when in trigger volume is always selected as your initial. If you turn that off, the moment you step into that, it's going to just keep firing back and forth for the rest of its life. But right now, what's going to happen is I've got a platform that when I step on it, it's going to move after a second. We didn't change the delay. See? I'm back out to where I'm moving, and then it'll come back, and then it'll move again because I'm back in the volume. If I stepped out, it would never move again. I may be completely incorrect. I could have fucked up my code because it's not moving. Oh, there it goes. Yep, so it was just doing the long range of the timer. So if we wanted it to only go forward, there's even a button for that. Do not return. Now that I've checked that, I can go in here, and I step on it. It'll take its time because we didn't set things. Now it won't go back. You're just going to sit out here. You're like, jump around. And it won't do anything else because it's not going to return fire because we've set it to only go one thing, one direction. But see, there you go. This block that I actually have up here, what I have up here is I have a platform that moves back and forth while I have a bunch of blocks that are randomly smashing. The blocks that smash will trigger an event on the player, like this one. It's got a little bit of a lag, and I'm not 100% sure why. Why don't you trigger? Trigger, buddy. Okay, fuck you, game. Now it doesn't want to trigger for me. It was doing this on something before, and I don't know if it's because I selected something wrong. But basically, it's just one block moving back and forth and a bunch of other blocks trying to fall on your head. And they can make you fall off down to your death. And then that bugs out. Oh, I changed. Yeah, I know what I did. I was toggling the thing, and I fucked up the teleport destination. So that's just some of the things you can do. This wall over here, I have made a blueprint of as well, and it's basically a wall tile that we have a tile set for. That's not it, but let me do unlit for you guys real quick. This is how cool and easy it is. It's amazing when you're not limited by them fucking you with not giving you what's under the hood. This is just a simple script that just allows you to change the texture on this to any material you want. There's nothing fancy about it. It just changes the material. Now in steel, it was whatever. It's so if you have material editors who want to do, yeah, I just lagged myself. Oh, I changed it on something else. So that's really it. It's just a material swap. Clay beveled. See, you can just use some of the default stuff from the game. Anything that we want to make that's a texture that's just a tile, and there you go. It's oh, I added a crouch button. I need to make the camera go smoother, but I just wanted a crouch button for some reason. So we can start to see the different aspects that you can make this thing do. It's one block. It's a million possibilities. You can make levels with, or you can make entire levels with this one block. If you want to turn all the traps on and just have Mr. McSpiky Death Machine, you could do that too, even though I need to fix that function, clearly. I even gave you the ability to offset the traps in case you want to change these spikes. If somebody comes along and says, hey, I want to mod that spike out, they can mod that spike out and then like move it, or they can just move the spike anyway, so now it's all the way out there. And it moves its pieces with it. It moves the one piece that's on an alpha right now that isn't showing, and it moves the death box by moving the offset to affects all, if you notice. This also allows you to do some other things with it that are just fun. I mean, you could even use this piece right here as, say, watch this. You could use this as a floor spike that comes up out of the floor without showing any. Obviously, we're not going to have any holes in the floor to show this, but we could do this. Let's see. Fuck you, I don't want to deal with you over there. Go away. I'm just going to pull another one out. So watch this. We're going to go... We want traps 1 and traps 2, right? So we want these traps to be just below the floor so they don't kill me right away, right? But we show the pointy part of them just so people can see, right? So now I need to close all these. I need to find out a way to make these windows closed on default too. But destination block, our movement offset for our destination block will then be, let's say, 50. A little bit lower. Let's go with 45. There we go. So the block won't show in here. But now what's going to happen is it's going to look like those spikes are coming out of the ceiling. But how do we trigger it? We trigger it by turning off auto movement. If you check both of these, neither will fire. It's only can do one or the other. Trigger box detection. And then let's move the trigger box up on the Z about 100 since it's right in front. There's our trigger box. So we just need to move that around and figure out where we want it to go, right? So, 50. Where's our spikes at? I already lost our spikes. Oh, they're there. Okay, so our spikes are right there. I can see the outline. So I want to go negative 50, and then I want to go, say, 200. Yeah, let's make ourselves good and right in the middle of this fucker when we get hit by it. So now what happens is when we walk into that trigger box, those spikes are going to fire and then kill me. Except for they're not going to kill me because I bugged out the stupid thing. It's not going to work, but let's see. I can walk out of it and it's still going to spike up. Watch. Maybe. Did I actually enter the trigger volume? Oh, that's right. If the initial delay is off, the trigger won't fire before you if you leave at the time. Let me fix that. I can actually make that not happen. So trigger movement trap allow. We've got our trigger box. Let's just make our trigger box a lot bigger. Let's scale it up by 3, 3, 3. There we go. I can't help but hit it now. Now the block transit time forward is 1, 1. The initial delay minimum will just change to 0.5. And we'll change the initial delay maximum to 0.1 or to 1. So the most it's going to wait is half a second to a second before it spikes those up. Unless I completely fuck everything on the trigger box. Oh, there they go. Now see, clearly I fucked my trigger. But yeah, here's our spikes. They should be killing me, not pushing me up and down. But you get the point. So now you've got something that just lets spikes come out of the ground over and over again with just using that one box. And you can even, if you even wanted to, check this out. Once you've got it all set up, if you just don't want the visual disturbance, which I completely get, once you've got it set up, you can go to main block control, use block 1, use block 2, click them off. This will still work perfectly fine. I say this, and I'm not actually 100% sure it'll work perfectly fine. Yep, there we go. And you can change the speed on those. You can change. What I've also added is I added an entire sound tab. As you'd heard, these are pounding, and these are showing their destination block. If you didn't notice, which you can just turn off. You can toggle your destination block to so you don't want to see it once you have it set up. You don't want a visual disturbance in your level. But it's also got an audio. So you got the audio on the reverse sound, the audio on the forward sound, the sound delay forward, the sound delay reverse, because it's going to start the firing initially. If you set these both to 0, it'll start the sound the moment it starts to move. So this allows you to set a delay inside of those. So this one block, you could use it as an elevator. You could use it as a killing machine. You can use it as a spike trap. You can use it as a pressure plate trap. There's one more functionality I want to add to it, which is the ability to pull a lever and activate the movement of the block. So you could use it as a lever to go through a level. But when you use it as a lever, you can make all the blocks move and then set their time. So if you did, say it would be under trigger movement, it would be looking like this one. So if you set their time, their initial delay to 0, 0, the moment you pull the lever, they move. And then you do the delay between reverse minimum and maximum to say 7 seconds. That means you pull a lever and you've got 7 seconds to run the trap or get through the opening. And then you put a trap in between them and them. Or you see what I'm saying? I'll put the Imager album for the script for people to take a look at it, but it's literally one block, a million possibilities. And anybody who comes in, let's say we get somebody who comes into the project, what we're not going to do is allow people who we're crowdsourcing and who are helping us build the game. We're going to give you certain permissions, like I've got a folder called Darren Shit, which I'm going to rename. Blue's got his folder. We both have access to each other's stuff, but we don't touch it. If somebody else came in, we would just basically make you a new folder. You would just go, we would make a new folder and say Cap, because Cap wants to come on. So Cap Games folder. So Cap, this would be your folder. And what would happen is you could make any new folder you want inside of there. You would have full access to your folder. We would too, but generally we're not going to touch it. So you could be like, your templates, our blueprints. Let's name them blueprints because that is actually better. So blueprints, and say you wanted to use mine, but you don't have access to edit it. You do have access to pull it. So you can actually go, you can actually grab it. Or I think you can just grab and drag, can't you? Grab and drag, copy here. And then now you have your own trap block, whatever. I don't know why it has the same name. It should not have the same name. Well, it does have the same name. You'd want to rename this to say Cap Games Trap Block 01. Oh, damn it, that's right. I keep forgetting in the naming for these you can't have underscore, or you have to have underscores. So there you go. Now you've got yours. And then what's really cool is then it's now checked for check-in. You can check it in. You can make a dev note. I added a block if you want to, or just type random gibberish like we do. And there you go. You've got your own block, and now you can edit this block, and it comes with all the functionality of the first one. And so if you decided you didn't need half of this shit, or say you just didn't want the material swaps involved, it's actually an easy break. If you don't want any traps whatsoever, you just basically kill all of the 1 through whatever, or you kill every pin but this one, which would be the 10. And that would basically make it so that, let's just break it and show you. Or actually, it's not going to remove the variables, because the variables are public over here. But you see what I'm saying? If you guys wanted to change the default templates of this, if you wanted to add things to it, it's full open. It's full open for modding too. Anybody that comes in and wants to mod and use templates that we have, make entire dungeon sets and add other stuff that they want to do, there's no limit. The chains are broke. It's honestly, I should have done this a long time ago. But I think it's going to be pretty fun. And this is just an overview of one template, one trap, one thing that I've made. I don't think there's going to be too many more that are that complex, if at all. I mean, these jumpers, they're basically just you're going to be able to toggle the volume of the jumper, the size of the jumper, the texture of the jumper, the texture of the fan, the speed of the fan inside of it, and then the speed at which it throws you. And then you can even make it change whether it's additive. You can even make it subtractive, so you could turn the fan in reverse, make the volume really big, and suck people down into it, which would be kind of funny. It's going to be pretty complicated in what you can do. You can suck people down in, you can throw people out, you could like pull people into it and have no grate, so the fan is a trap and kills you. So if you go over top of it, it could just be like, you're dead. The whole goal of this is to have fun. And I'm having a fucking blast. And honestly, I hope that anybody that comes on board has fun too. I'm just making things to kill people at the moment because it's fun. But their uses in level design surpass just the simplicity of making a puzzle level. Oh, in case you guys didn't notice, this one is moving back and forth to here. I didn't actually look at it in game. Look at this. It's so stupid. I just picked like some beam or something. I was testing. I forgot to remove that. That's funny. I also forgot to fix our torches, because our torches now have a lit texture for like when they're lit up a little bit, and I need to make it like fade in a little bit and then pop up when they turn a lit on. So yeah, that's just, screw you, Spikes. I really need to fix your kill box. Spikes. It does look kind of cool though. If we get the holes for them, we can just make that move fast and just kill people. So yeah, I don't know. Thoughts, people, throw them out there. We got, I still have a lot of trap templates to go, but hopefully within a week or so, we should be able to start crowdsourcing a lot of this out, getting people interested in it, working on things that they want to work on. Yeah, all good fun. All the texture fighting. Honestly, it's more, I've been having a blast, and I think that other modders would have fun with this too. That doesn't have any collision by its default. I don't know. Fuck you. I like all the knockoff ones. Like, I think it's just funny having shit to knock you off, and you can jump it. If you get on board it, you get killed by spikes on the walls. Like, I mean, think of the possibilities. Just with this template right here, with this one block piece, I could have this block moving back and forth. I could have other blocks that are just trying to push you off it going left and right, which you can jump over. But if you fuck the jump, you land on them, and then you retract into a wall, and the entire wall is covered with spikes of blocks that aren't moving. Like, literally, just this one block I could make probably an entire flipping level of traps with. I could take an hour and a half of your time to finish a level with one template that it took me a day to fix. A day to make. And there's probably people out here who can make it better. So I think it'd be really cool if we get some people who are just, you know, good with programming, that want to make templates, that want to make traps. We have people that want to make levels, or people that don't have any idea what they want. Other people will have ideas of things that they want, and you know, you just work together as a massive, really retarded group. Yeah, I really fucked something with that script, didn't I? All right. Anyway, everybody, take it easy. That's it. This is probably going to take forever and a day to upload because I am using Shadowplay because it does record better, but it still records at like 5 gigs for a 4-minute movie. It's lowest settings. Drives me nuts. So take it easy. I'm going to pass the hell out. And in the morning, I'm going to work on the jumpers. I'm going to finish the jumpers. And then with these torches, I'm going to have fun with these torches, right? I'm going to make these torches so that they're fully toggleable. You can have the torch lit, unlit. It'll fire at any point. You can change the color of the fire. I really like the idea of changing the color of the fire. You can change which particle systems they use. So you can actually use like crazier, bigger fireballs, or if somebody comes up with a better fire texture, it looks more like a fireball magic or something. All that crap. But you can also change the mesh entirely. So if you wanted the torch to fire spikes, you can do that. There's no... It's this beauty of being able... You know how there's all those questions every time a new modder comes out. You'll see it on the forums. Just go to the Skyrim forums. Go to the Fallout forums. Do you know what you'll see? Can I? I could literally, if we had a forum for this, I could put up a sticky that says any can I question? Yes. With almost 100% assurity. That's how fun this is. That's how open it is. It would be great to just see what real modders can do, because I'm still thinking I'm faking it. And also, people who know this engine a little bit more can code more and get underneath it. I'm still learning. This is just me learning. I've been learning for a week, less than a week, not about a week. I'm just, and half of it has been setting up servers, getting the things to work so we can talk to each other, just watching tutorial videos left and right because it's a whole different interface, but it's so much more fun. We can do whatever the hell we want. And the modding accessibility, by the way, is just phenomenal. I don't know how well it would work. I think it'll work about the same as Skyrim modding. Like, say if 2 different people access the player character and modified it, you'd have the same issues. But we can just create script templates. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a box that you basically drop in your level. And when you drop it in your level, you put your player there. That's where your start spot is. And then you can use that box to define all of the player characteristics. So that every time, if somebody picks a different level, or if you want to make your whole bloody game, you can just change all the player stats. You can add UIs to them, inventories, different things. I haven't actually screwed with UIs yet. It's like on the last thing of my list to learn, so I'm actually hoping somebody comes along who actually knows how to do UIs better than me, or that knows how to do them already, so I can just ignore it. But I probably will learn at least the basics of how to do them, either way. So, yeah. Stay classy. Keep it easy. Take it easy. Whatever. I'm going to go insane, but I'm going to have a fun time doing it. I hope a lot of people join me, because it gets lonely when you're crazy.